Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopidana Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Jamuna Tira Vanantari Jamuna Tira Vanantari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Paramahamsa Bri Vradgacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shri Bhai Charanaravinda Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Nanta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandi Biti Founder Charya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtana Ki Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jnanita Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurandalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Jena Bhuttale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shyam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Svam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitam Hai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Taptakantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Tribhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyaiva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatyam Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesa badrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahma Samhitam Uttama Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Neshreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Granth Grantharas, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Sarabhyaya Namaha, Om Sarabhyaya Namaha, Om Sarabhyaya Namaha, Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pagom Langayate Girim Yatkripat Maham Bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yatkripat Maham Bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing chapter 16, canto number 1, entitled How Parikṣit received the age of Kali. Today text number 16. Yes. Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dhautya Virasana Nugamana Stavana Pranaman Snigdheshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Sha Vishnor Bhaktim Karoti Nri Patish Charanarabinde. Saratya Parashada Sevana Sakya Virasananu Gamana Stavana Pranaman Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnor Bhaktim Karoti Nripatis Sharanarvinde. Saratya Parashadda Sevana Sakya Dautya Virasana Gamana Stavana Pranaman Snigdheshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Savishno Bhaktim Karoti Nripatis Charanarvinde. Saratya Parasadda Sevana Sakya Dautya
Saratya Prasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Virasananu Stavana Pranaman
Virasana Nugamana Swatana Pranaman
Snigdheshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Chavishnor
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu
Bhaktim Karoti Nripati Sharanarvinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipati Charanarvinde
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya Virasananu Gamana Stavana Pranaman Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnor Bhaktim Karoti Nripati Sharanarvinde
Saratya Prasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Saratya Parasada Sevana Sakya Dautya
Virasana Nugamana Swatana Pranaman
Virasananugramana Stavana Pranaman
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Cha Vishnu
Snigdeshu Pandushu Jagat Pranatim Savishnor
Bhaktim Karoti Nipratishta Charanarvinde
Bhaktim Karoti Nipati SaranaravindeSaratya
Satya
acceptance of the post of a chariot driver.
Gopi Chariot Driver
Parashada
Parshada
acceptance of the presidency
Acceptance of the presidency
in the assembly of the Rajasuya sacrifice.
in the assembly of Christ.
Sevana
Sevana
engaging the mind constantly
engaging the mind constantly
in the service of the Lord.
in the service of the Lord.
Sakya
Sakya
to think of the Lord as a friend.
to think of the Lord as a friend.
Dautya
Dotya
acceptance of the post of a messenger.
accepting of the post of the messenger.
Vira asana
Virasana
acceptance of the post of a watchman
acceptance of the post of the watchman
with a drawn sword at night.
with a drawn sword at the night.
Anugamana
Anugamana
following in the footsteps.
following in the footsteps.
Stavana
Savana
offering of prayers.
offering of prayer.
Pranaman
Pranama
offering obeisances.
offering obeisances.
Snigdheshu
Nigreshu
unto them who are malleable
them who are malleable
to the will of the Lord.
to the will of the Lord.
Pandushu
Pandushu
unto the sons of Pandu.
unto the sons of Pandu.
Jagat
Jagat
the universal.
universal.
Pranatim
Pranatim
one who is obeyed.
one who is obeyed.
Sha
Shya
and
and
Vishnu
Vishnu
of Vishnu.
Vishnu
Bhaktim
Bhaktim
devotion.
devotion.
Karoti
Karoti
does.
does.
Nripatihi
Ni Pratihi
the king.
the king.
Sarana Aravinde
Sarana Arvinde
unto his lotus feet.
unto his lotus feet.
Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Raghava Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Maharaja Parikṣit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna, Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaja Parikṣit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. Kindly repeat after me. Maharaja Parikṣit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of services to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant, and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikṣit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. Purport. The Lord Krishna is everything to the unalloyed devotees like the Pandavas. The Lord was for them the Supreme Lord, their spiritual master, the worshipable deity, the guide, the chariot driver, the friend, the servant, the messenger, and everything they could conceive of. And thus the Lord also reciprocated the feelings of the Pandavas. Maharaj Parikṣit, as a pure devotee of the Lord, could appreciate the Lord's transcendental reciprocation of the feelings of his devotees. And thus, he himself also was overwhelmed with the dealings of the Lord. Simply by appreciating the dealings of the Lord with his pure devotees, one can attain salvation. The Lord's dealings with his devotees appears to be ordinary human dealings. But one who knows them in truth, it becomes at once eligible to go back home, back to Godhead. The Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desired. What is the meaning of malleable?
Very keen, very formably, very flexible and
Accommodating.
ready to do anything.
Right. Yes. So, translation again, Maharaj Parikṣit heard that out of his causeless mercy, our Lord Krishna Vishnu, who is universally obeyed, rendered all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, etc., according to the will of the Pandavas, obeying them like a servant and offering obeisances like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikṣit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. So yes, the Lord had a very close, intimate relationship um, with all the Pandavas, with Queen Kunti Devi. Uh, and this is very nicely outlined here how the Lord, although He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, uh, who under whom everything is directed, whom everyone obeys and follows, whom everyone recognizes as their Lord, but because of this very uh, personal relationship based on uh, pure devotion that was established between the Lord and the Pandavas, he, although in such an exalted position, assumed all kinds of services. Someone was explaining how, like we have Parthasarathi, his name is Parthasarathi. So Krishna becomes Parthasarathi, the chariot driver. So someone was mentioning how it's not that the chariot driver simply rides and, is the chariot driver. The chariot driver also has to look after the horses when he's not on the chariot. Means the chariot driver is on the chariot when there's a need to move or to fight. Otherwise, he part of his duty is also to feed the horses, to look after the horses. I mean, that's like very menial service. Here it mentions how Krishna also watchman. Krishna carried the message. He became a messenger. Peon. We say he became a peon. Peon is like in writer's building in Calcutta, right? It's full of peons. They're just told, you go this way, you go that place, you deliver this message. Peon is a very very low kind of menial type of seva. But when there is this love and affection, this kind of relationship established, then the Lord happily takes up all of these different services. So it means everything is based on relationship, ultimately, isn't it? Uh, on loving relationships. When these are properly established, then all kinds of very wonderful uh, activities take place. Uh, just like the Lord was, actually one time Prabhupada was in Mayapur, uh, and that was in the very, very early days. Um, and Prabhupada was staying in still is there, Bhajan Kutir, where Gornitai are at the gate, at the entrance. And Prabhupada had a small entourage of devotees, and there was one Mataji was cooking for Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had her, one time actually he had some of his godbrothers, and he had requested her to come and serve him the prasadam, although his godbrothers were there, which was a little unusual. Um, and I think after she had left, one of the God brothers was asking some question, but we're all sannyasis, Mataji. And then Prabhupada had made the following statement that these devotees, even though in different bodies, they are they're fully dedicated to serving. They're ready to even leave their bodies, for the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada was mentioning how when such relationships based on love and devotion are established, then other things become secondary. They're important, but they become secondary. So it's like, uh, Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of love and affection for his devotees, very willingly accepted all of these different services. So naturally, as Maharaja Parikṣit was traveling around his kingdom, it was still fresh in the minds of so many people, the activities of the Supreme Lord. And he was hearing from different people and was in this way appreciating more and more the glorious position of both the Pandavas and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is why we need to hear about these pastimes of the Lord, the different qualities of the Lord and His devotees. Those who are fully surrendered devotees, they also become very attractive. And the Lord is all attractive. Krishna means the all attractive. And those who follow in the footsteps of the Lord, they also become attractive because they develop the natural qualities of the Lord. and this is what is being referred to here. Maharaja Parikṣit, when he heard these descriptions, he became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. So most of us, most people in the material world, they don't know about God, isn't it? I mean, we have something very unique as devotees in that, who amongst those who are teaching about spiritual life have an actual clear understanding of who is God and what is meant to be the type of relationship that we can develop. So this was revealed actually by Lord Chaitanya. That's a special. It is described actually in the Dasamula Tattva, one of the tattvas, one of the very deep sciences, which is eternally existing, which makes up knowledge of the absolute truth, and that is called Rasa Samudra. Rasa. Rasa is a very important theme, an essential theme that is very elaborately described, especially in the Bhakti Raghava Swami. The very title speaks about rasa, bhakti, rasa, amrita. It is eternally existing. And that's why people in the material world are actually searching after this rasa. because this rasa means that it is based on relationship. It is based on reciprocation. Everyone in the material world is looking for reciprocation. People commit suicide because they don't have any friends, isn't it? Or because their loved one, uh, you know, separated, broken hearts. Whole world is full of broken hearts, but everyone's so-called broken heart in the material world can uh, uh, can be that problem can be resolved, or that broken heart can again become not broken by reestablishing our connection and our relationship with Krishna. So that's why the, the path and the process of bhakti opens the door to something that is eternal, and something that is, when we allow ourselves, when we properly apply, that naturally opens the doors to something that is eternal, which is something we are all seeking. Uh, Eternal happiness, eternal love, which is only possible when we uh, begin to develop eternal relationship. So that eternal relationship, we see it displayed here between the Pandavas and Lord Krishna, and of course amongst devotees as well, when keeping Krishna in the center. So the center, all of this is only possible when Krishna remains our uh, point of referred to here uh, is causes mercy, as mentioned here.
Where is it? Causes?
Uh, when the translation, it proper translates, Maharaja Parikṣit heard that out of his causeless mercy. Krishna. Krishna is not a Krishna. It's like Krishna is busy and doing so many things, but he becomes obliged uh, to his devotees. I mean, that's one of the uh, reasons, as described in the Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya saduskritam sadhus. He comes to reestablish, to interact, uh, to engage in different pastimes with his devotees. As a matter of fact, Prabhupada mentioned that this is one of the primary reasons, because in terms of killing demons, that can be done by so many other agents. Krishna doesn't himself have to kill demons, although sometimes he does. But those demons are, Prabhupada explains, Hare Krishna, those demons are devotees. Those demons, because Krishna cannot just engage in fighting with any ordinary person. Yes.
Um, I just was thinking that this tour is not just how to say a roman or a legend, which we good to hear, to have a good mood every day, every morning, They have to have some enjoyment, some little, happiness to see this ancient time, how nicely Parikṣit is covering, he's ruling the world, so it's okay. It's a kind of entertainment, but it's here much deeper, the story, which means very soon this hero, this king, should give up everything.
He will?
And you have to give up everything and understand this. It's not like directly told to him, okay, no, it is due to the time to die. But he accepted the possibility of dying, understanding that the that is the desire of the Lord,
Yes.
Krishna's desire. So this preparation, this hearing is we could be like, okay, it's happening, but it's a preparation for his changing his mind, give up all these subtle, I am this king, I am his servant of the world, I am the most important person at the present moment, I have to protect everything. Okay, this little boy cursed me, but anyway, I shouldn't stop my service, I have to counteract, I have to use my all this energy to continue my service, but not. It was not the hidden instruction for him. So but Lord Krishna never, in this situation, never give direct instruction. He gives like a subtle way.
Right.
I mean, when Krishna asked Parikṣit to finish your life and listen for 7 days for this Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not a direct instruction. Parikṣit have to understand from subtle way, as Yudhishthira understood from the signs that, okay, my service finished, I have to go to the Himalaya. So
Right.
these things in our life also, Krishna doesn't direct us always like very clear, okay, do that, do that. It's at the beginning, what to do, what not to do. But when we are more mature, Krishna doesn't, and Guru doesn't direct us exactly in open words. We have to figure out.
Although sometimes that direction may come.
Yeah,
But very often it is indirect or
yeah,
not. Yeah.
most of the time, and more subtle things we have to do, more like this indirect direction we have to follow. Like Srila Prabhupada was living in India and he became sannyasi, and he was and devotees came to him to get initiation from him, and he didn't give them initiation not because he was forbidden, but he understood that it's not my service. If I give initiation, what happens? I am kept here with so many disciples, and much less time I have to do whatever real my service. Go
Right.
west
Right.
and preach.
Right.
If you have hundreds of disciples in India, you know what does it mean.
Yes.
He just understood, okay, I have to change my route. This brahmachari was saying me, but it's not his fault. It's Krishna's word.
Yes.
So that's to understand you have to have a pure heart and prepare that Krishna could do anything.
Yes.
And we should not demand Krishna, oh, why you are making me sick? Prabhupada was getting heart attack. And she goes, why, Krishna? Krishna, you sent me to West and then you want me to die? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's everything is correct in your.
Yeah. Correct.
No, he was never demanding Krishna. Satyavan never asked Krishna why doesn't protected my son. That's the nature of pure devotee.
Yes.
So we have to prepare, have to learn that fully, purely surrender.
So you're mentioning that unless one develops that type of consciousness, or the more one develops that consciousness, then he is able to to adjust and to understand what needs to be done. That Krishna speaks through different events that take place, or through different persons we come in contact with, and it's not, we don't understand, or we should not expect that it's only when we hear something directly told to us by the spiritual master, because very often, well, majority of disciples during Prabhupada's time, and I would think that the majority of disciples even now of different gurus are not constantly, very often not even getting one instruction directly from the guru. Most of Prabhupada's disciples never received any direct instruction. Those who received letters from Prabhupada were generally temple presidents, because Prabhupada had established a system that whoever is the temple president, they have to send me a report every month. So in this way, devotees who had that responsibility would write to Srila Prabhupada. Of course, anyone could write in the early days. Anyone could write, and so many devotees did write. But after some time, that was kind of discouraged, actually, because Prabhupada was, to answer mail, to reply to this. When you have hundreds and thousands of disciples, it becomes like extremely time-consuming. And Prabhupada's main service was to actually translate the Srimad Bhagavatam.
And most of the questions or most of the letters
Can be answered by others.
and they repeated it again and again. So
Correct. Yes.
becoming a really conscious disciple is still rare, and it takes a lot of learning and a lot of adjustment.
Yes.
Have to.
Yes. Yeah, we need to learn to whom to ask different questions. I mean, we should ask questions. Most of our questions.
Or ego. Still, we have ego.
Yes.
We are devotees, but we have some false ego part of our life. Sometimes we are really eager to serve the Guru Maharaj, but sometimes we have some, own, demandings.
Correct.
So that's coming up and down. So they are not mixed. They are not melted. I just read it that until asakti, this kind of svarupa mood means I am the servant of the servant. This doesn't really mix with our former ego.
Yes.
Because it's they are just present, the two, both is present.
Yeah.
And we experience that duality.
Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami explains in the beginning of the Nectar Devotion how pure devotional service is very rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. But it is what all of us are striving to develop and to attain.
I heard a very nice example how difficult to accept that kind of ego, or how it is not appearing immediately when we really practice very nicely. Still, is the example when the sulfur and this liquid metal, this very poisonous metal.
Oh.
Mercury, yeah.
Mercury.
Yeah. So when you want to mix the two, it's not possible. You mix it, but still it's again separated.
Mercury and mercury and what?
Yeah, and sulfur.
Oh, sulfur. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But then when you keep, in one moment, it just melt, and they all change their nature.
Yeah.
And they become very useful kajal.
Correct.
So it's like if someone is mixing the two and nothing happens, give up.
It's like when people are given sandalwood for the first time to make sandalwood pulp. Nothing happening. Or similar also when you make ghee, if you have butter and then you look at it, because it takes at least 3-4 hours for the ghee, for the impurities.
Yeah.
It takes a long time for the impurities. It's
Yeah.
a very nice example also that our heart has been carrying since time immemorial so many impurities within. So it takes time for these impurities, just like in the butter, the impurities come up, and then you're left. Only when the impurities are removed, then you're left with this golden, very attractive ghee. Ghee is golden, and then it can be useful. It can be utilized.
So that happens with our ego.
Yes.
Not outside the ghee.
Yes. Correct.
Inside it's like burning until it's melted really, and
Yes.
all these impurities.
Means there's a lot of churning, inside churning.
Yeah, and that's not a good feeling.
And it's not easy. Yeah, correct.
Not a good feeling. You have to be ready for it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Churning. Nice example.
Like it's burning sensation.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
And the other thing was interesting for me that Parikṣit mainly heard two topics.
You what?
Parikṣit Maharaj, when he was traveling,
Yeah.
this glorification was categorized by two topics, at least in this verse.
Two topics.
Yeah, two topics. One is that his wonderful savings, how Krishna saved him in the womb. And for somebody who's listening that story about himself, that would be the most interesting.
Yeah.
I would say that. But Parikṣit was not interested for that one, but he was more amazed how his grandfathers were ready to accept the service, this manual service.
Yes.
For a king who knows what does it mean, the difference between the castes and the servant and the master.
What to speak of Krishna?
Yeah, not just a simple king. He understood that I will not accept this kind of things. So that is showing his character.
Yes.
He's more interesting of this kind of amusement than whatever wonder saved him.
Yes. Yeah, nice point. Yes. Pure devotee is always thoughtful about others, about the welfare of others, and appreciating.
And he understood that his grandfathers are very humble.
Yes.
So they are not just doing it some egoistic way, but they humble. They know all the rules, regulations in the Vedic term, in the Varnashram, and still. And they know that Krishna is Supreme Person Godhead, but they are ready to accept that service. That means it's not easy to accept that service from Krishna.
Yeah.
And he started to want to follow them.
Yes.
And follow in a good sense, follow in the principle, follow in the heart. Oh, I want to become like them.
Yes.
This is our leader. If you hear some glorification of a devotee, and we are really, really accepting that that's really glorious, then we start to think, oh, I want to, follow.
To be like that, correct. Yes.
So that's desire is the leader.
Yes.
Go back home, back to that. Otherwise.
Yes, Prabhupada often refers to that as being appreciating, recognizing the service attitude, the essence, because the proper mood and mentality and simply wanting to serve and being fully satisfied and happy in rendering such
Yeah.
even menial service. Yeah.
Sanatana Goswami wrote a full book of the Srimad Bhagavatam. The first book is just appreciating the devotee's service.
Yes, yes.
Like Narada Muni is the best person who
Yeah, yeah,
shows the
yeah, yeah.
different devotees' service mood.
Yes.
And that's a full book just about
Yeah. Correct.
amazing.
Well, most of the writings, ultimately, all the writings of our Goswamis culminate in that, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Because they want to prepare us to really appreciate any service, not about the formality of the service,
Yes.
but the inner mood of how much they give,
Right.
how much they are really fully surrendered. Ashishava Padaratam Pinashtumam.
Yes.
We have to reach that level.
Yes.
At least that is the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
We can go back home, back to Godhead before we reach that level, but that is the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire.
Yeah.
That is the Unnato Jvala Rasa. That is the very rare, in the rare devotional service, in the rare pilgrimage, it is more rare.
Yes.
So we need to hear a lot about that. Otherwise, maybe we don't
Yeah, well,
have this.
this morning we're getting a little
No.
little glimpse.
Yeah.
You're not the Shivangshu. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Gaur Pimanande.
Hari Hari Bol.